in your opinion, what damage did Edwin Snowden do? And how did a 27-year-old kid at that time obtain so much access to such a wide breadth?
Okay, I can explain this, but it's not going to be good. And the best I'm doing is throwing myself on the mercy of the court. Right? So, how much damage? This is the greatest single hemorrhaging of legitimate American secrets in the history of the Republic, period. And only about 5% of what he shoved out the door in any way affects you or your privacy. The other 95% is how the United States government spies on other people. And that's very costly. Now, how do you get access to it? Well, after 9/11, a lot of our elected representatives said we weren't sharing enough information. We fixed that. We have built into our architectures systems by which there aren't these stovepipes and compartments of information, that most everything is available to most everybody. So that way you can connect the dots. And it's been tremendously successful. It really has. Snowden's job as a contractor was as a SharePoint manager. That makes sense to some folks here. You know, kind of a traffic cop for the sharing of information. So his having access to this was about as suspicious as a librarian being seen with books. Okay? That's what happened. Now, all that said, shame on us. We knew this. After Bradley Manning, okay, so you got a PFC downloading hundreds of thousands of cables and giving them to Julian Assange. After Bradley Manning, someone said, how did that happen? You didn't know this guy in a tent in Kuwait was downloading 250,000 State Department cables? You didn't know that? No, Mr. President, we didn't. Well, I want you to know that. So we began a program to in essence, real-time monitoring of the network. I mean, it wasn't looking over my shoulder and seeing what I'm typing, but you get a download over here that you've never seen before. Ding, 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 ding. What's that about? Okay. NSA was systematically putting its network monitoring system into place throughout what is a global enterprise. The last place to be updated was NSA Hawaii. And he knew it. And that's why he fought for the Booz Allen job, leaving a good job with Dell to get another job with Booz Allen so that he could do what he could do in Hawaii. So, I guess I'm suggesting malice aforethought here. This is not an innocent who goes, oh my God, there's gambling going on at Rick's. This was somebody who did what he did with a purpose.
And don't you think he loses credibility by going to a country that is opposite everything that he's preaching?
Yeah, I would think so, but he shows up in TED Talks around here pretty routinely. He does. He's gotten to be a bit of a persona. And there's a certain element of our population. And look, I get this. In our DNA is a distrust. So when I was director of NSA, I used to say, look, there are only two things I need to be successful. I need to be powerful, and I need to be secretive. And there are only two things inside American political culture that we distrust: power and secrecy. Okay? And so he's hitting a responsive chord. I get it. All right? We are all, it's kind of born into us. Distrust government. Government power is something to be carefully watched. Government power is something to be carefully monitored. And so he's hitting that chord inside. It's kind of generational, but he's hitting that chord.